Good day everyone, we are Group 2 and our group members consist of me, Peggy, Khatijah, Amalina, Eileen and Munira. We will be focusing on the topic which is national and state guidelines to affordable housing. This is the pyramid showing the hierarchy of the housing policy. On the top, there is the main policy which is national housing policy. Going next will be the sub-policy. There are two of them, which are affordable housing policy and private property development policy. There are acts and guidelines which are sit at the bottom of the pyramid. There are guidelines such as Public Housing Management Act, Strata Title Act, Strata Management Act, Residential Tenancy Act, and etc. Now, we look into the Dasar Perumahan Negara, which is part of the National Housing Policy. There are 5 focuses, 16 strategies, and 57 action plans. Focus 1 is to ensure the good quality the housing for everyone. Focus 2 will be improving the accessibility and affordability of the housing. Focus 3 is to ensure the quality and cohesive neighborhoods. Focus 4 will be improving the housing and transportational coordination for better quality of life. Lastly, the Focus 5 is to strengthen the institutional capabilities to deliver the national housing policy.
In National Housing Policy, we're going to focusing on Strategy 4, which is improving accessibility and affordability of housing, where we have 5 types. First one will be the increasing the supply of affordable housing. The next will be developing localized housing, affordability, threshold. Third one will be the review housing component cost. Fourth one will be the shifting the development of affordable housing towards build and sell under BTS. Final one will be the encourage the construction of retirement village that can offer a good quality of life for a senior citizen. In this slide, we have 8 clusters of DNR, which is Cluster 1, Policy and Legislation, Cluster 2, Standard of Produce, SOP and Guidelines, Cluster 3, Studies and Research, Cluster 4, Maintenance, Cluster 5, Monitoring and Governance, Cluster 6, Construction Technology, Cluster 7, Community Development, and the last one will be Cluster 8, System and Digitalization of Data. We're going to focus on 7 types of DRMM, which is stand for National Affordable Housing Policy. First one will be the location, transit oriented development under TOD. Second one will be the construction, which is 900 square feet minimum IBS and beam classic. Third one will be the density and plot ratio. High rise will be 120 to 150 units per acre. Landed will be 20 units per acre. Fourth one will be the facility and amenities such as kindergarten, mosque, playground, garbage, multi-purpose hall, and etc. Fifth one will be the category of pricing, which is 115 below and 300 below. The next one will be the cost reduction, where we have government land, development and utility charge. The last one will be the end financing, where we have top-up fund, flexible financing scheme, government Berhad guarantee, longer mortgage term under LPPSA, build to rent, and last one will be the Fund My Home under crowdfunding.
Dasar Perumahan Mampu Milik Negara or DRMM is a sub-policy developed to outline standards, key specification, prices and guidelines for the development of affordable housing, whether developed by the federal government, state government or private sector to address issues related to the affordable housing industry. There are 17 criteria that need to be taken into account towards achieving the real goal of affordable housing. Some of the criteria are access to job opportunity and recreational facilities, housing quality, energy efficient housing, and has solid waste management. Next are the affordable housing standards that have been outlined to guide all the parties involved in the construction and development of affordable housing in Malaysia to ensure the provision of quality and sustainable housing. Some of the standards are: the house has an area of 900 square feet with 1 to 2 car park space depending on the type of house and the number of units. The facilities that need to be included are kindergarten, surau, playground area, and multipurpose hall. There are 4 elements that makes up a good public and community facilities. These elements are The first is availability. The availability of public facilities and space can improve the quality of life of residents in residential areas. Second element is accessibility, where it refers to the level of accessibility of the community to a public facility. The provision of public facilities will affect it and not function if the operation of the facility is not accessible and used by the public. The third element is social interaction, where it is a basic requirement in creating a quality of life. Public facilities should be a medium to build social network and communication that are appropriate to the setting. The fourth element is comfort and safety. Adequate building area and floor space can ensure the provision of equipment and facilities can run smoothly. Universal design should be applied in creating buildings and components of supporting facilities by taking into account the use by adult, children, the elderly, and the disabled.
According to the statistics of affordability done by the Department of Statistics in Malaysia, it is clearly seen that what Malaysians can afford, which is in green, is far behind from the actual house prices at the end of 2016, which is in orange. This situation happens in every state and it's most obvious in these three states, which is Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, and Penang. Take Kuala Lumpur as an example. What the average household can afford is 337,000 ringgit Malaysia, while the lowest of all price, which is the high rise, is sold at a price of 479,000 ringgit Malaysia, which has a gap of 152,000 ringgit Malaysia. And the situation is worse when we compare what the B40 can afford towards the lowest price of all, which is the high rise. The gap is about 287,000 ringgit Malaysia. Next, we will discuss about the state policy done by Penang, which is the Penang 2030, where this policy is more people-centric rather than state-centric and being more trusting than suspicious. Let's discuss on the theme of to increase livability to enhance quality of life, where the strategic initiative done is to address housing affordability and diversity by increasing the housing availability in Penang, ownership and the number of low and mid-range homes, and to undertake urban renewal of those low-cost housing, which is in a poor condition. And lastly, for my part, I will talk about the Garis Panduan, which is the guidelines done by MBBP, which is Majlis Bandaraya Pulau Pinang, back in 2017, with the scheme of having 100% affordable housing, that the affordable housing can have a maximum ceiling price of 300,000 ringgit Malaysia, and the minimum size of the affordable housing is at 850 square feet with a plot ratio of 2.8 to 1.
Looking at the categories of affordable housing in Penang, the price range and housing type is listed in the table on the left. The three different categories of affordable housing are low-cost housing, low-medium-cost housing, and affordable housing. A summary of the criteria you need to fulfill to purchase affordable housing in Penang is outlined by the Penang State Government as follows. Firstly, you need to be a Malaysian citizen aged 21 and above who is Penang born and has been residing in Penang for at least 5 years since the application date. To be eligible to purchase an affordable home within the 200,001 to 300,000 ringgit range, your combined household income must be less than 12,000 ringgit. To apply for low cost and low medium cost housing, the applicant and spouse cannot own property in any other state in Malaysia. These are some news clippings on affordable housing in Penang. In the article on the left from last year, it is seen that the Penang government plans to revise the price of affordable housing to less than 300,000 ringgit. Throughout the years, they have continuously revised the prices to ensure affordability. Back in 2016, the price range for affordable housing was from 300,001 ringgit to 400,000 ringgit. This was revised in 2017, which in the highest range of affordable housing is 200,001 ringgit to 300,000 ringgit, which is the price today. The news clipping on the right talks about the proposal to build more affordable houses in Penang. In the article, it is outlined that there is a high demand for these houses. In fact, there are applicants who have been on the waiting list to apply for these affordable houses since 1973. In 2013, the Selection Process Enhancement Committee, or SPEC, was formed to speed up the approval process. These are the links to our references. That's all from us. Thank you.